An international tribunal ruled on Thursday in favor of most of the Russian athletes who had been barred from the Olympics for doping, but the International Olympic Committee said it might not allow them to compete in the Winter Games this month in South Korea. The ruling by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, based in Switzerland, called for the reinstatement of 28 of the 43 Russians barred from taking part in the Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea. But the decision does not mean that athletes from the group of 28 will be invited to the Games, the IOC said in a statement. Individual athletes can compete only by invitation, it said, and not being sanctioned does not automatically confer the privilege of an invitation. The committee did not make clear whether that meant it would allow some of the 28 to take part, but it said it would analyze the ruling very carefully and would consider appealing to the Swiss Federal Tribunal, Switzerland's highest court. In December, the IOC banned Russia from the Pyeongchang Games after revelations of systematic, government-sponsored doping and test rigging before and during the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia. It allowed Russians to petition to be allowed to compete as individuals, but ruled that 43 Russians who competed in Sochi had committed doping violations, declared the medals they had won to be forfeited, and barred them from all future Olympics. On Thursday, the Court of Arbitration for Sport overturned all penalties against 28 of the 43, ruling that the evidence collected was found to be insufficient to establish that an anti-doping rule violation was committed by the athletes concerned. The court found that 11 of the athletes had broken those rules, and upheld the ban on their competing in Pyeongchang, but it ruled that they could compete in future Olympics. 3 appeals are pending, and one of the 43 athletes did not appeal the sanctions. The ruling confirms that energetic actions aimed at defending the rights via courts and via other categories are justified, they can be effective and they should continue, Dmitry Peskov, the chief Kremlin spokesman, said in a conference call with reporters. Russian officials have repeatedly denied or played down any systematic cheating at Sochi. There were problems with doping in Russia, as in many other countries, Mr. Peskov said. Alexander Zhukov, president of the Russian Olympic Committee, told the Russian news agency Interfax, "We insisted from the very start that our athletes are not involved in any doping schemes, and, of course, we are now just happy that their honest name has been reinstated by court and all their awards have been returned to them." The Court of Arbitration, based in Lausanne, Switzerland, noted that it was not passing judgment on whether there was an organized scheme allowing the manipulation of doping control samples in the Sochi laboratory, but on the culpability of individual athletes. The court's authority in doping cases is usually recognized by the IOC and many other international sports bodies. In its statement, the IOC lamented that the Court of Arbitration had not taken into account the proven existence of the systematic manipulation of the anti-doping system by Russia.